Hello and welcome. I'm Kartikeya Sharma and you are watching On Point. Today we have 3 On Points lined up for you. In On Point 1, another TMC MP has quit and the questions are growing louder. Is this an isolated exit? Is this a big rebellion? Or is TMC collapsing under its own weight and the way Mamata ran the government for 15 years? I speak exclusively to veteran Sushmita Dev. In On Point 2, Pakistan's growing satellite network raises surveillance doubts, intelligence and military preparedness. Is Islamabad building a space-based watchtower to keep an eye on India? And in the last On Point, we talk about the counter killings that have taken place. 2 people have been killed and families refuse to take the bodies. That is where the story is, and that's what we are going to discuss in On Point 3. And now let's take a quick look at the headlines. 1 year since the deadly crash of Air India Flight 171, AAIB says it has made significant progress in its probe, reaffirms commitment to conducting probe with diligence. India lodges strong protest with US envoy Jason Meeks over killing of 3 Indians off the Oman coast, calls use of lethal force on civilian shipping unacceptable. Customs Department arrests former Miss Kerala Harsha Sani at Mumbai International Airport with over 11 kg of hydroponic wheat worth 11.82 crore. Ramcharan starter film Pedi to undergo re-edit after backlash over sexualization of Janhvi Kapoor's character. The political tremors inside Trinamool Congress shows no sign of stopping. In the latest setback for Mamata Banerjee's party, Rajya Sabha MP, Sushmita Dev has resigned from both the upper house and TMC, becoming second MP this week to walk away from the party. Her resignation comes amid reports of unrest within Trinamool Lok Sabha ranks, with speculation that a sizable group of MPs may be preparing to challenge the party leadership. Sushmita Dev says her politics lies in Assam and that she could no longer meet the aspirations of people there, while remaining in a party that lacks a clear roadmap for the state. Within hours of stepping down, she had met Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, fueling speculation about her next political move. In today's On Point, we speak exclusively to the woman at the center of the latest political storm. Joining us now is former Trinamool Congress Rajya Sabha MP Sushmita Dev. Thank you, Sushmita, for joining me on Point. Let me begin this conversation by asking you, what prompted you to quit Trinamool Congress at this juncture?
You know, I was not scared when I saw the results of the West Bengal Assembly elections. And despite the fact that they were saying debacle, all of that, I thought a strength of 80 MLAs is not something that you can't live with or you can't function with for the next 5 years. But what did worry me, Kartikeya, to be very honest, is that I couldn't understand why the party was not being able to contain the exodus. It started with the MLAs leaving, if you remember. And people, who won on the symbol, the people who had together fought against SIR, I mean, that was the narrative in Bengal. Then I waited for a bit and then started the separate faction of the Lok Sabha MPs. And the depth and the gravity of the crisis was such, my common sense told me that in these circumstances, for Mamata ji to now focus on Assam and take Assam forward in a very strong way doesn't seem like a real possibility. And I think finally on 8th of June, when the India Alliance meeting happened, what became extremely clear to me is that, she will not be the only one calling the shots, either in Bengal or in Assam or in Tripura or in Meghalaya or Goa. These are the states that Mamata ji expanded outside Bengal. In the circumstances, I just thought that the practical thing for me to do is put in my resignation from the party. And obviously, if you leave the party, you should leave the seat that the party gave you. So that's how I took the decision. And those are my thoughts before I put in my resignation.
Sushmita, what is your understanding of the so-called, I would say, dissolution, split, or the fracture that has happened in Trinamool Congress? Now, a lot of time has passed. What's your understanding? Why did it happen? It's unprecedented in the history of last 30, 40 years. There are party splits like that immediately.
That's what was worrying me. You hit the nail on the head because, we've seen Akhilesh Yadav losing. We have seen Tejasvi losing. We have seen Mr. Stalin lose. But we've never seen this kind of, it's like a house of cards that started falling apart so fast. And that too, even Mamata Banerjee's critics would accept the fact that she's no ordinary leader. She's a very strong leader, So what went wrong? And from what I hear from the members of parliament who have formed a separate group and the MLAs who have formed a separate group, there was clearly a lot of discontent with the style of functioning, the way the party was being run. And I think another serious issue that emerges from their narrative is lack of access to the leaders. So you see, all this put together and the defeat, of course, the defeat must have been a factor too. Add to that the public reactions that were coming out. Now, TMC MPs say that this is contrived, it has been done by the BJP. But Kartike, this is my analysis, I may be wrong. I don't think it is so well planned that which MP is flying out on which flight, and now let me put 4 people there on the same flight who will be able to see her and attack her. So some of it may be, some of it may be planned, some of it may be targeting, and then everybody else is watching, no one's intervening. So all those things put together, I feel, has actually given that impetus to for people to just, separate themselves from the Trinamool Congress. This is my analysis. I can't say what they are thinking, but this is my understanding of the situation.
Okay, before I ask you why did you meet Himanta, Biswa, Sarma, I want to ask you, what is the future of regional parties? I mean to say regional parties played a very important role in democratizing the Indian political structure. This happened post-decline of the Congress party, but by 70s they were there. You had N.T. Rama Rao, you have Pradyut in Tripura, you have Conrad in Meghalaya, you have the Dravidian parties in Tamil Nadu, you have other political structures in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. What is the future of regional parties now?
See, regional parties in India are the main enemy of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I believe that. And, choti muh and badi baat, I almost get the feeling that Congress is a very convenient primary adversary to the BJP. It suits them. A Kejriwal doesn't suit them. A Mamata Banerjee doesn't suit them. A Stalin doesn't suit them. A TVK doesn't suit them. But it suits them. The Congress in this form, with this leadership, in exactly this position, is very convenient for the BJP. They're very comfortable with a party like the Congress with the kind of leadership they have. It suits them because you have to have an opposition. You can't have a democracy without an opposition.
It's a mapped enemy.
Yeah, so it's a very, it's perfectly, it's a perfect scenario for them.
So why did you meet Himanta? Why did you meet him?
See, obviously, when you resign from a position, and that to a seat in the parliament, you can't expect to survive and do politics in a vacuum. It's not that's not possible. And although a lot of focus is on Bengal, along with Bengal came the Assam mandate too. And I realized in my 5 years time with All India Trinamool Congress that you may be able to do, I may be able to do organization being in the Trinamool Congress. I may be able to serve the organization, but I cannot serve the people. And you know me well, you've known me for years, you know my background, you know my political background. I've always been a people person. I've been a Lok Sabha MP, I have been an elected MLA, I have been elected ward commissioner. So my common sense told me that if I want to go back amongst the people and serve the people, then I have to work with the government. And the person who's at the helm of affairs of the government is Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. And I can't deny the fact that my comfort level with him is good because we go back a long way. We were together in the Congress and I batted very hard for him to become the Chief Minister in the Congress party, which eventually didn't succeed. So we had that, we had that comfort level from before. And, I'm not trying to take a moral high ground. But when Mamata Didi first spoke to me when I was in the Congress and she said, come and meet me, I just, want to have a discussion with you. I told her that if I come to meet her and then decide, it doesn't work that way for me. So I first resigned, sent in my resignation to Mrs. Gandhi and then got onto the flight because me meeting Mamata Didi would have hit the news. There's no way to do it secretly, go meet a chief minister. So similarly, what I told Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma that before I have any concrete discussion and things like that, let me exit the party. And a lot of people are asking me about the timing that Mamata Didi lost. So now you're resigned. So I just thought that if I have to have a change of mind and take a different course, rather than hitting her 1 month later or 2 months later or 1 year later, it's just better that since she's also strategizing on how to handle this crisis, I might as well, do it now, then again create another crisis for 3 months from now. So, those are my thoughts. I don't know whether it's believable or plausible, but that's the truth.
But you're not the first person who's telling me this. Long time back, I can quote him when I had a conversation with Mr. Prasad. He said that if there is no way you can work with people in a particular organization which is losing its space, then sometimes you have to take hard decisions. This is something, we spoke so many years ago. I can quote him on that because I had asked him the similar question privately, that what prompted you to shift? And he said there was no way he could have worked directly with people because he would have never got the mandate either to be in the assembly in Lok Sabha. So you're not the first person, but I do want to, on this premise, I want to ask you, then how do you as Sushmita ideologically repurpose yourself, if I may ask you?
It's a very fair question, but I think it's a question that you should ask me after I join the BJP. But having said that, I really like calm interviews like yours, so I'm going to delve into this question. So let's take a hypothetical situation that I am going into BJP. I did a lot of thinking about it, and you see, like for instance, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma calls the Congress a Muslim party, right? That all your 18 MLAs are Muslims. The BJP has branded All India Trinamool as a party that is into appeasement of Muslims, right? So now, when the Congress and the All India Trinamool Congress says that BJP is a communal party says BJP is a communal party. So now my training has first been in the Congress and then in the Trinamool Congress. So in my perception, when I look at BJP, the entire feed into my brains, and my conditioning has come from the Congress and All India Trinamool Congress. So I have actually never entered upon an exercise to decipher, understand better, analyze, or read about what BJP says their ideology is. So my perspective, I'm looking through the prism of Congress and All India Trinamool Congress, and I have been trained and conditioned to say that BJP is not a secular party, it's a communal party, it is anti-Muslim party, it believes in divide and rule. So that's my conditioning. If I were to go to the BJP, if that decision does come my way, I will have to reboot. And I will have to go through an exercise to say, what is it the BJP is saying is their ideology? Is it anti-Muslim or is it anti-foreigner? And most of the foreigners happen to be Muslims who have come from Bangladesh. No, so it is not, yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, this is the way I'm thinking. So rather than me saying, no, what I said in the past, I take it back, and logically I'm talking to you. So before I open my mouth on what is the ideology of the BJP, I think I need to do some serious framework and change my lenses and see it from the BJP's perspective so that I can put it in perspective in my head. So that's really my answer on ideology.
Okay, what sort of politics, you come from a political family. I want to understand what sort of politics do you aspire for in Assam? Because today, the Assamese government is on the framework of the Khilonjia Sarkar, 2016, when, Ram Madhav and other people, repurposed BJP. It was Khilonjia Sarkar, the government for the indigenous. What will be your politics in that larger framework? Because if I'm not wrong, you can correct me on it, Mamata Banerjee tried tapping into the large Bengali internal diaspora in Northeast. They are there in every part, played a very important role. Pre-colonial, colonial, post-colonial times, in the entire Eastern region. What will be your politics?
See, I know Assam politics very well, and you're absolutely right that it is about the indigenous people for various reasons, because Assam has had a history where there has been a huge agitation which spread over several years, So, I am a Hindu Bengali, right? But interestingly, if you look at the politics of Assam, especially over the last 10 years, somewhere language is important. There's absolutely no doubt about it in Assam. But somewhere there's consolidation on religious lines. There's no denying that. Otherwise, BJP could not have come up in Assam. I used to believe when I was in the Congress that BJP is not in the DNA of Assam. I used to actually believe that BJP is not in the DNA of Assam. It has happened because, a stalwart leader like Dr. Himanta Sharma, who's a master strategist of elections, has made it possible through his strategy. So at the time when Mr. Sonowal became the chief minister, that was my analysis. But in this election, Karthikeyan, analyze the results. This is a complete consolidation of the Hindu community. Doesn't matter if you're Bengali, and doesn't matter if you're Assamese, and doesn't matter if you are tribal. All the tribals are Christians, there's no doubt about it. But in the tribal areas, with the help of the Bodoland People's Party, BJP has even made a breakthrough there. So this is what I think. And also I do feel that Bengal was the last state where Hindu Bengalis were not voting BJP in. Because Tripura is gone. Tripura is primarily a Bengali state. That's gone. You look at the Bengali pockets in Chhattisgarh. You look at the Bengali pockets in UP. You look at the Bengali pockets in Uttarakhand.
Yes.
All Hindu Bengali communities are voting for the BJP. And the reason for that is the partition of Bangladesh.
Yes.
So like CR Park is what? CR Park is where Hindu Bengalis of East and West Pakistan were rehabilitated. So their narrative is very simple. That एक बार वहां से हमको धक्का देके यहाँ भेजा, अब हम उसी community के साथ नहीं रह सकते. So that consolidation is now complete in Assam. That's my analysis.
Okay.
Kartike, I'm giving you one example. Minister Ajanta Nyog in the last assembly election must have won with a few thousand votes. This time in the same seat, she's won with a margin of some 25,000 votes. How did that happen unless Hindu votes consolidated across language and caste?
And my last question, Sushmita, before I let go of you, was Abhishek really an issue in last 1 or 2, 3 years?
See, Kartik, I said it in other shows and I'm going to say it to you again. No succession plan is easy. Look at Mulayam Singh and Akhilesh Yadav. Look at Sonia ji, Rahul ji.
Yes.
Now it is Mamata ji and Abhishek ji. So now, I remember when Mr. Gandhi became the Congress president and then had to resign after we came down to 44. Not 44. I don't know what the number
50.
was.
50 plus 53 or something like that.
Yeah, he resigned. And then there was a huge crisis in the Congress. There was a churning in the Congress. So Mamata ji has two problems. One is the succession plan. Two is after losing, it's not just a churning, it's an exodus. So it's a double whammy for her, like we say it. So I don't know how it's going to unfold, but all I'll say is the only damage I've caused to Mamata Di is that she will probably lose one seat in Rajya Sabha. But I think that we had reached a point when even she was wondering in which direction she'll take me for my growth. And I had started thinking that, is it even possible for her in Assam?
No, absolutely. I think you are one of those few people who have very genuinely articulated and being very honest in the conversation as to why you resigned. Because वो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना कि अगर आप पब्लिक के लिए काम नहीं कर सकते किसी भी तरीके से किसी संगठन में तो आप irrelevant हो जाते हैं. And I think in politics you cannot afford to be irrelevant. You have to be relevant somewhere. And best wishes for your new journey on this note.
Thank you, Kartik. Always lovely talking to you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on air. So this is all I had on point 1. But please don't go away. On point 2, I'm going to have 2 experts and they will tell us about the Pakistan's growing satellite network.
इसमें है फाइबर, बीटा ग्लूकोन, प्रोटीन, मैग्नीशियम तत्व, इसलिए ये शारीरिक संतुलन के साथ साथ शरीर को